Hi there, Quentin Legrand, Account Executive for OpenText Benelux region. I'm here today to talk you through how we can collaborate in context of your business initiatives. More in specific, how we can bring your data home after COVID. And this will be explained by our solution Extended ECM for SAP, for Microsoft 365, for Salesforce and others. I'm not alone today, so I have my colleagues Bas van Vliet and Maarten Rijmakers here as well, and they will continue afterwards and go in depth about our solution. They're both solution consultants, so that's why they're taking over from me. Do you remember, once upon a time, and I'm going to tell you the date, it is the 13th of March 2020. Before that date, everything was good. There was no COVID, we were happy, we were going to the offices. All our information was stored in our binaries, documents were there, contracts were there, etc. We met our colleagues, we brainstormed, we went into our meeting rooms, even we invited our partners and our customers, and we were it was one happy workplace to go to. But then, again, 13th of March 2020, COVID came across Europe, and all of a sudden, bam, we were stuck at home. Offices were closed, even public life closed, so we were sitting there all by ourselves in our little room, because also the partners and our children were at home. So instead of going to the office and live a happy life at work, we were stuck in our own home and just with our computer or our laptop with us. So what happened? The information that was stored in the office wasn't available at first time for everyone in the company. So we said, oh, what should we do right now? I don't have the information, not everything was digitized yet. I have no ways to work with my colleagues, with my partners, even not with my customers, so we need to be creative. We went on the World Wide Web, and there we found some solutions that were free to download and installed on our PCs and even our smartphones. We're talking about Box, Microsoft Teams, Google Drive, Dropbox, etc. So now we found a way to share information with our partners, with our customers, with our colleagues. Was it a good way to go for? At that moment, yes. But then, after the 13th of March 2020, when COVID was decreasing, our RT department said, what happened over here? Information was shared. There is no security. They didn't have control on which document went to who or where information was stored. So we all returned to the office and we said, hi, nice to meet you again. Did you receive that information? Did you find that contract? Is everything in order? And IT said, no, it is not. And Gartner did a questionnaire themselves worldwide, and they said, okay, how does COVID have affected our brands, our companies? Was it positive? Was it negative? Was there some damage? How did we manage to go for GDPR, etc.? Did we get some fines? Yes, it was not the ideal way for IT to deal with. So IDC said, let's interview some CIOs. And the CIOs came up with the five challenges they face as from now, after COVID. And Maarten and Bas will take over after this final slide. But I will tell you the 5 challenges the CIOs are dealing with after COVID. One is managing the costs. They were escalating. They need to bring everything back in place. Second, securing our data, our systems, and even our clouds, whether it's a public cloud, a private cloud, a hybrid cloud, etc. The changes for investments and the digital technologies, how are we going to manage that? That's also something to be thought of. The shortages on the skills and talent management, because people were working before COVID, working during COVID, and working after COVID, and we all saw that the way we are working right now is different as before. And finally, how can we adjust our plans for the hybrid work? So Bas, Maarten, please take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Quentin. I'll start with the first challenge that was mentioned in the report, which is managing the escalating costs that come with the sprawl of all these IT apps that are used nowadays. What we will do as OpenText is that we will provide all the capabilities and functions required by the business users, but from a single solution or a single solution vendor. This allows you to give your end users the tools they need and the capabilities they need in order to perform their day-to-day activities and be as productive as possible. But at the same time, it allows you to manage the costs accompanied with those apps and capabilities. We can do this from various services, applications, and platforms that we provide as OpenText. The second item is security, securing the data and systems in the cloud. What we do as OpenText is bring security as part of the overall solution design, development, and support. But at the same time, also on a functional level, provide key security features, such as automatic creation and synchronization of permissions on workspaces, which are integrated directly into the ad hoc environments such as Teams. By doing this, your end users won't have to worry about setting correct permissions on those team spaces, but we can do it for them automatically. At the same time, we bridge the gap between ERP and CRM systems that contain all your business critical data, because we harmonize that same concept across all the application landscape. This means that the same account team, for example, that has access to a customer file also has this access on a team space. And team members that should not have access to these files are removed automatically. At the same time, we want to automate the creation of this whole concept as much as possible. For example, we work with templates that set up a complete customer file, the structure, but also the retention on that same file. So you can make sure that the access is restricted when the customer is no longer active, but also that the documents that are part of that customer file are kept on a long-term retention format, such as invoices which you need to keep for a certain amount of years. On the other hand, we want to make it as easy as possible for users so they can work in their native user environment, so they can know what they do, what they cannot do, and we make sure that in the background all the content is nicely propagated and secured. In this example, you see how we do that in the Outlook environment of a user, but we can also do it in a Teams environment of that same user. By making available all the same content in the apps of their choice, a user won't have to worry about copying, moving, capturing, or classifying that bits of content. We can all do it automatically in the background. Another thing we do is provide the central content policy across the whole content repository. This means that if content is created in Teams, an ERP system, a CRM system, or just manually uploaded, we can design the system in such a way that all the content falls under your corporate policy. So that customer files are under the customer file policy, HR files are stored on the HR policy, all automatically without the intervenience of an end user. But on the other hand, we can also do is map that same policy to externally shared content. For example, by mapping that same policy to the Microsoft Azure Information Protection. This allows you to share content safely and make sure that when the content is leaving your managed repository, it also has the same security labels applied, so you can end up with persons that do not have access to this piece of content. And with that, I'll hand over to Maarten to explain the next challenges.
Thank you, Bas. Another challenge defined in the IDC report of CIOs today is that it becomes increasingly difficult for end users to adopt new technology at an ever-increasing pace. So the question is, how can we keep up with the rate of change and have our users adopt new technology while giving them the opportunity to work in the context of the lead applications that they know and love? And that is exactly what OpenText Extended ECM strives for. We as OpenText believe that all the different stakeholders in your organization should be able to work from these applications that they know and love. That they should be able to use those collaborative platforms that they know around any business process in your organization. But what we believe is that the content around which these end users and these stakeholders collaborate, that content is managed, is centrally managed, meaning that we centrally can apply access control on it, that we can apply retention policies on it, that we can apply archiving policies on it. And that is exactly what Extended ECM will do. But it will do more. What we as OpenText do within Extended ECM is that we are going to contextualize your content. That means that we are going to bring together those documents, that content and those people in the context of a certain business topic. And we do that in a workspace. We're going to aggregate all that information in a workspace, and we're going to propagate those workspaces to those end users, to those stakeholders who participate in that process around that business topic. So that each and every user from their own lead application can access that managed content. What does that look like in practice? For example, if you use SuccessFactors in your organization, each and every employee knows how to request leave or report illness in SuccessFactors. What we will add on top of that is that we will allow end users with one single click of a button to also access their employee dossier from within the SuccessFactors user interface. For organizations using Microsoft Dynamics, for example, we deliver similar functionality. If you use Microsoft Dynamics, for example, for CRM purposes, we can also deliver the users of Microsoft Dynamics with the possibility to, in the context of a business topic, in this example, the business topic is a customer card, that we will give access to all the documents related to that customer from within the Microsoft Dynamics user interface. So we're going to visualize that in this lead application, but the content that we're visualizing and showing is the managed content that resides in Content Server, that is centrally managed. And the same we do also for SAP, for example. And we give end users the possibility to work from SAP, for example, finance users or sales users who work in SAP, and in this example as well, on the customer information card, also there, all the content related to that customer is immediately accessible. And the rules and rights of each and every stakeholder accessing that content will dictate what content that user can see. What we see here is a Salesforce example. This is in the field of service management. As service needs to be done on a certain item, so the service engineer can, from Salesforce, immediately access all the documentations, all the information regarding that item from within Salesforce. And again, that content is being surfaced from Extended ECM. And it doesn't stop there. What I've shown you so far is some lead applications where OpenText delivers out-of-the-box integrations with. But on top of that, we also deliver a set of APIs that allow you to create your own integrations with other lead applications, with other bespoke applications, for example, to create your own integrations. Now we're going to the next challenge being defined by IDC as a challenge for CIOs in the post-COVID era. And that challenge is hybrid work. What we have seen with COVID is that employees needed to be able to work from any place, needed to be able to collaborate on any platform with other stakeholders, and be it from the office or from home or even from their car or from the train. And CIOs are looking for flexibility on how to deliver this functionality. And also here OpenText can help. We deliver the possibility for organizations to aggregate information, to integrate it on the glass, and to show that contextualized information to different stakeholders. And we use that Smart View. Smart View is really that layer that we put on top of your content to create dashboards, to create workspaces, to create user interfaces where all the data and information is being aggregated and it's being shown to the stakeholder. And also here we're taking into account the rules and rights of the person who is logged in and who is popping up and showing that Smart View user interface. And Smart View is a responsive design, so that means it adapts itself to the screen real estate that a user is working from, be it a tablet, a mobile, or a desktop PC. Smart View is that integration layer that we provide within Extended ECM, but we deliver that same integration functionality also, for example, with Documentum or with core content, so that we uniformalize the way that your employees, whichever platform they use, look at their content. Another way we facilitate collaboration between different stakeholders in the organization is giving the possibility to jump from content to collaboration and back. And what do I mean with that? For example, an end user who works content-centric can, from their content server interface, easily access collaborative functionality to reach out to the other stakeholders working in on that same business topic, working on that same content. And vice versa. Collaboration-focused employees who are used to working from Microsoft Teams can, within their Microsoft Teams context, easily access the managed content that they are working around in that team, without leaving Microsoft Teams. But next to jumping from collaboration to content and back, we also give the possibility to real-time synchronize certain documents between Microsoft Teams and Extended ECM, so that whichever stakeholder is working from whichever lead application, they can work from that same content in real time. Another way we're going to facilitate hybrid work is to give the possibility to liberate content that is stored in a siloed mailbox and simply add it to a dossier, add it to a workspace, to liberate an email and an attachment with one single click of a button, and safeguard it, make it managed content within the content server. And also vice versa, it's not only about safeguarding content, but also when we're going to create a mail to communicate with the different stakeholders of the team, we give the possibility to, from within Outlook, simply create a link, or with one click of a button make a link to a piece of managed content, which can then be sent around to the different other stakeholders within the organization. And thereby you keep one single version of the truth of your documents, but you start using your mail as a communication tool rather than a content management platform. And last but not least, we also give the possibility not to only work internally and collaborate internally around your content, but also across the boundaries of your organization. We give the possibility for stakeholders working on a certain business topic, be it a project, be it a customer, an opportunity, or what have you, to also include external stakeholders. And for this we use Core Share. Core Share really allows you to include external subcontractors or external auditors, for example, or a team who need to create technical drawings for a certain building project, for example, to collaborate around the content that you manage centrally in the context of that business topic. So this is how we as OpenText support your hybrid collaboration. We let your employees work from any device, work from their collaborative platforms that they know and love, and also start using mail for which it is intended, to communicate around content, not to store and manage content, and give your employees the possibility to collaborate in the organization, but also across the boundaries of your organization. And by that, we have tried to give you the answers to how OpenText helps organizations today to alleviate the challenges that IDC has reported on in their CIO study. Thank you very much for viewing this video. If you have any questions regarding this, please don't hesitate to contact us. and I look forward to speaking to you in the next opportunity. Thank you. Bye.